back. We are into the black. Literally, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I have been gone for 2 weeks, and we are Sunday, last day of June. Super exciting. Dude, flew by. The month flew by. I can't believe tomorrow is July 1st. We have the 4th of July coming up. It's plopped to the middle of the week, so you guys enjoy the holiday week and weekend. I know I have so many different plans, but it just went by so fast. I did miss the last 2 Sundays in June because I was on a business trip, actually, which was super duper fun. We went down to Florida. Still am, but I was doing social media for Realcomm and IBCon. That is one of the largest commercial real estate tech conferences in the United States, maybe the world, I don't know. But it was just super dope. Lots of cool people, amazing networking. The food was outstanding. The Tampa Convention Center just freaking nailed it. And it's just so great to work with Realcomm. So shout out to you guys. It is a lot of fun. I love real estate and technology, so it's kind of like right there, bullseye, right in what I love to do. But it was just amazing. So that's where I've been, and that's why there has been no Into the Black. I did not want to post the Into the Black for my guests, and I have so many guests coming up. I have Bob Warburton of USA House Solutions. I have my sister, Melissa Cox of Mockingbird Studios, and she's just obviously my sister, but lots of music, lots of things she does over there. And then we have Lauren of the Fearless Fashionista. So we have tons and tons of guests coming up. We also have Robbie Jester coming in to record as well. So it's just super dope. But I wanted to come on here and, break the silence first with my this episode, instead of just putting out the next guest one, because I like to make sure that I market and create buzz around my guest's episode instead of just dropping it randomly, which is what today's is. Because, like I said, I was down in Florida for 2 weeks. I could have done Into the Black on the road, but I didn't really want to do that. I really wanted to immerse myself in my work and not be worried about that. It's okay to skip episodes. It's okay to skip weeks, to be honest with you, because there is nothing that is perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, and we just roll with the punches around here. Today, I wanted to just kind of spitball, do some social media stuff, because I was doing social media for that conference, for Realcomm, and, it's just, I really do enjoy social media. I really wanted to talk about all of the different things in regards to social media and really maybe the tips and tricks around it. There haven't been that too many changes recently. The last social media episode that we did, there were tons of changes. It was a roller coaster of changes for social media, with the TikTok ban, which I guess could potentially still be happening. We just need to wait and see. From, X putting their likes are now private. So if you like something, people can no longer see what your likes are, which I thought was really interesting. Gives people a little bit of a chance to be anonymous when it comes to the content. But then it's like, okay, well then what's the point of the likes then? If nobody can see them for your own use, sure. Of your own curation, sure. But not too many changes in regards to the landscape of social media. It's just, the consistency part of it. And I think that's what a lot of people do mess up on, is the consistency part. I know I am. Go look at my Instagram. Okay. There is zero consistency over there because I am trying to be consistent for all of my clients for their social media. But and also the consistency part of podcasting, just digital marketing in general. But I will say, bringing that up, okay, so over on Threads, which for many of you, I don't know if you know what Threads is. Threads is the offshoot of Instagram that is kind of like the competitor of, supposed to be X/Twitter's competitor. I guess, I don't know, does it replace Twitter/X? No. X is the place where you go to get news, or it used to be anyway. Like the breaking news, maybe if Instagram is down, you go over to Twitter to see if Instagram is down. But Threads is kind of like the competitor to X. And I really noticed this interesting trend, take, whatever you want to call it, about the co-opting of the word digital marketing. And apparently the word digital marketing has been taken over by those who are trying to turn content creation and courses into like a multi-level marketing type thing. And so there's this like debate over there about exactly what digital marketing means to people. And for some people, it means like selling courses and having like this multi-level marketing like type of system for their course creation. Like, yeah, like, hey, like I sell courses. You can also sell my courses. And then you can learn how to make courses and sell courses. And then you get people under you to sell your course. It's very much MLM vibes. But I do not agree with the words of digital marketing being co-opted by this MLM type, marketing strategy and hierarchy and downlines and uplines. Digital marketing is way more than that. It is way more than just random ass content creation, the courses, oh, you sell my course, you can make money, then you had to learn how to set up courses and then you make your money. Like that's not how this works. Sorry, that's not how it works. So digital marketing is basically services and tasks that you do online that help you market digitally. That's why they call it digital marketing, because you're marketing digitally. So, I do a lot of digital marketing, and I used to just say that I'm a social media manager and strategist, but there is way more that I do than is just social media and social media strategy. There is content creation, there is video creation, there is WordPress website design, there is newsletter management, there is blogging, there's so many different, there's also social media marketing and management that falls under that digital marketing umbrella. Anything that you do to market yourself online and through the use of digital formats is digital marketing. Even SMS, text message marketing, that's digital marketing because you're marketing digitally. Even you know what? I would even say a digital billboard. A digital billboard is digital marketing because it's literally a big ass screen. So I just really thought that interesting that, there's a whole subset of people who have now co-opted that digital marketing. And now it's like, now they all look at, like, when they think digital marketing, I am now getting these messages of, oh, I see you're a digital marketer. Like, what is, we would love to discuss how we can help your upline, downline, I'm like, what? Please no. And that's what prompted me to put that post over on Instagram. So, LinkedIn. So if you go over to LinkedIn, it was like, I do not answer unsolicited DMs about you talking about client strategy or lead generation. Upline, downline, hey, let's get people. No, please don't message me that. Please don't DM me that because I won't answer. And even if I do accept your friend request over there, I'll still be your friend, but you will email me into oblivion because I will not answer that email. So yeah, I just find it kind of interesting, the whole social media landscape and actually having these conversations about the different ways in which we can market specifically and use digital marketing to our advantage. So, and social media is just one aspect of it. Maybe today we should just talk about digital marketing because that's where it seems like we're going, right? And social media is under that digital marketing umbrella. And anything, like I said, anything you do online is helpful with your digital marketing strategy, but you just need to make sure that it all makes sense. So we have your website, right? We have your website. If that's WordPress, Wix, Squarespace, I don't care what you have, as long as you have something, as long as you have your own real estate that is separate from social media, right? Then you have your social media profiles. You need to make sure that those social media buttons are on that website. You need to make sure that your social media profiles are linking or pointing to your actual website. Not a link tree, not Associate tab, but your own website, right? Because that's an upvote, right? Got to connect those two. Then you have your newsletter. Then you have your blog. If that's on your website, fine. But still, that blog is its own digital entity. Social media, like I said prior. Then you have your curation sites like Pinterest and Scoop It and Reddit. Those are all curation sites. Your SMS, that's a whole other digital marketing entity. So you have all these digital marketing assets across the whole entire internet. You need to make sure that they are feeding off of one another, pointing to each other. And if you do that, you are going to create this like ironclad digital marketing web on the internet, on the World Wide Web, that if you do it correctly, then you will see that rising tide lifts all ships mentality, meaning the rising tide of your search ranking is going to list everything. It's going to make everything rise to the top. So if everybody in Go looks for hashtag Heather Cox codes on any search engine, your internal search engine of social media, your search engine over on YouTube, or even YouTube, search engine over on Google, Bing, put in that hashtag. I've linked everything, even media articles. I've asked if there have been people like, news articles about me. I ask them to put my hashtag Heather Cox codes in there so that media, that piece of information comes up. You can also look up Heather Cox Delaware because there's a Heather Cox Richardson who is like a political commentator, and she has taken all my SEO. So if you look up Heather Cox, they're like, oh my God, wait, is this that political person? No, it's not. It's not me. But if you look up Heather Cox Delaware, you'll see everything that I've done from, winning one of the top women in business of 2020 by Delaware Today, one of the most influential Delawareans of the News Journal, literally so many different other media outlets and news articles, also my website. But you have to think about that digital marketing strategy. If you do not optimize your profile over here, and when you look it up on Google, it's not going to come up under that digital marketing asset. You have to make sure you optimize and point. So they all need to be connected in a web. And that's what digital marketing is all about. Just getting that omnipresence of digital marketing and getting it across all channels. Because that is the only way that rising tide lifts all ships is going to work. You have to connect it all together, right? So let's take my hand, for example. These are like website, blog, social media, newsletter, SMS, right? So if you optimize everything, all of them rise together. But if this one is left off, well, then 4 is only going to rise and not this one. This guy's going to stay down here. So you really got to think about your digital marketing strategy and make sure that you have all of your assets in place. So, I've been doing digital marketing for a hot minute, and I really think it's funny that, it goes through, the terms go through many different iterations, but I really think that the way that digital marketing needs to be looked at is all, different avenues on the internet. Anything that you do marketing-wise on the internet would be digital marketing. Even, I'm sorry, like I said, the billboard, that's digital marketing, because it's controlled digitally, I guess. So yeah, some tips and tricks for digital marketing that you need to have in place. So make sure you have your newsletter. Make sure that your newsletter, and that's MailChimp or Constant Contact, right? When I say a newsletter, that's it's not just it's an email campaign. Making sure that your landing page for people to sign up of your email campaign actually makes sense. Actually has a link to it. Actually is branded to everything, not just, here's my newsletter, sign up. You want to make sure you have your logo, your assets, a call to action, even social media buttons on there. So you really want to think about make sure you have your newsletter optimized. Make sure that you have your SMS. A lot of people don't remember, like, yes, SMS is to your cell phone, but it's digital marketing, but you also need to optimize that. So making sure you have clear call to actions in that link of your SMS, making sure that you have even a hashtag in there. Your branded hashtag can go a long way. Making sure you put emojis in there, because emoji use actually increases engagement by 20%. I know that's strange, but like it makes it's visually appealing. It helps with breaking up sentence structure. So when you utilize the emojis for sentence structure purposes, that is going to increase reach and engagement, because people are able to read it better instead of just like a run-on paragraph where people look at it and they're like, that is a lot to read. I do not want to read that whole paragraph. But if it is like structurally broken up by hard breaks and emojis, then there's going to be more engagement and reach because people feel like it's more consumable. So you need to make sure that these things are optimized accordingly. Optimize your website, optimize your social media. Make sure every asset is optimized. So, some optimization tips, right? Making sure that username is consistent across all platforms, all entities, all digital marketing assets. So, I am of the thought of your hashtag, your branded hashtag should also be your URL. Your business name should be your URL. Your business name should be your branded hashtag. Those three all need to be the same. So my website is Heather Cox Codes. My business name is Heather Cox Codes. My hashtag name is hashtag Heather Cox Codes, because it gives it all three. I don't know. You could say algorithms if you want. It's not really an algorithm per se, but it's the structure of the digital marketing assets. So if I have Heather Cox Codes over here, heathercoxcodes.com, but then my hashtag is something completely different, like hashtag Heather Cox Creates, it looks like two different entities altogether. So you want to make sure that those three, the domain, heathercoxcodes.com, the brand, the business name, Heather Cox Codes, and the hashtag Heather Cox Codes, they are all the same. So it could be hashtag ABC Diner. The business name is ABC Diner. The website name is abcdiner.com. Right? So just think about that strategy for those entities, right? And that hashtag should live everywhere. That branded hashtag should live everywhere. Because then when you're searching for something, that digital marketing, it comes up easier when you're searching. And if you don't optimize for SEO, you've literally cut out a whole entire demographic that does not use social media, that may not be attached to your newsletter and in your newsletter, like email list. They may not have your SMS. You do not know where somebody's going to drop into your digital marketing web. You have no idea. That's why you need to optimize for all things, all assets, all avenues of which somebody can enter your digital marketing web. Because, okay, look, like think about it. You're a spider, right? And you have your whole entire web. And let's say over here, you did not optimize that part of your web to catch flies. Well, they just flies, and it's like, okay, well, I just flew into this web, but guess what? It's not connected right here, so I'm just going to fly back out. Not get caught. Oh, well, stupid spider, you didn't optimize that part of your web. So you have to optimize, because any fly can come into your web at any point. And you need to optimize to make sure that they stay inside your digital web. That's why I always preach SEO and preach SMO, because it is so important. And so, I know I want to do a whole Into the Black about digital marketing, like short form video and video marketing. Because that is just, people are creating these short form videos, but then you're not optimizing for people to find their content off of the platform. Yeah. I remember I had cold emailed somebody because of their social media strategy, because of their digital marketing strategy that they had. And I was like, dear, I would love to discuss with you about your social media, strategy and content creation. I noticed that you're only using, literally, would only use hashtags in the caption. That's it. Like, what are we in, like, the early 2000s? Like, what? Like, what are we in the 2010s? Like, that is not how you effectively create copy and content for your digital marketing assets. Hashtags work, sure, but you're just going to be categorized. But people are going to have no idea what you're talking about. Great. Oh, you put a picture and just some hashtags, or just like a flyer and some hashtags with like no call to action, no directing them to be like, hey, we need you to do this. Like, it really does not make sense. So make sure you are optimizing your captions, your copy for any of the creepy crawler spiders, which I call them over on Google and Bing. They crawl your shit. And how do they crawl it? Because they read the text. That's why you need an XML sitemap with the links and the text of all the things. That's why you have to optimize, because those spiders, those on the web, they crawl your stuff, and then they read your stuff, and then they categorize your stuff. And then when they categorize your stuff through keywords, because you categorized it through a keyword, then people will find you. But people aren't doing that. So stop being lazy and not using copy in your digital marketing strategy. It's bonkers to me. Like, even on your website, yes, I get it. Your website's pretty. Beautiful visuals. When you scroll down, it moves with you, or it's responsive, or it like fades in, and you're like, oh my God, that's just so cool, of the different dynamics and the JavaScript. But you have no copy on your website at all. What am I here for? And what is the creepy crawlers here for? Because if you are having beautiful imagery on your website, sure, but those web crawlers have no idea how to read an image unless you have the alt text, and most of you don't even have proper alt text and titles in your on your website and in your images to begin with. So how are y'all getting the SEO benefit of your website? You're not. So that's why I always preach, you may have a lot of copy on your website, but that's the point. Yeah, we can do things on the back end of the website to boost your SEO. But I'm not going to be sitting here keyword stuffing your images or, your meta description for your website with keywords just because you don't want to have copy on your homepage or on any page. I've seen it so many times in the photography industry, in the wedding industry. I have seen it. Like, beautiful imagery is great. I love it. Love it so much. Love your clean, crisp websites. Love it. But if you don't have any copy, how am I going to be able to find your website? Sure, yeah, I can find you through direct referral. If somebody gives me your URL, great. But what if I'm not a direct referral and I'm looking for like photography in Delaware? Your stuff is not going to pop up, sorry. Even though you may have the most beautiful website ever, but if you do not have any copy, then you are literally leaving money at the door. You have dropped the bag at that point. So, here we're talking about digital marketing. I go on tangents about this stuff. We talked about copy and social media. We're talking copy on your website, because I'm all leaning into the SEO and SMO. And digital marketing is, to be honest with you, an omnipresence approach, because you have to have all of your entities lined up, and it's not just one social media thing. Yes, social media has multiple profiles, to Instagram, to Facebook, to YouTube, to Pinterest, to Snapchat, to X, to TikTok. Those are all social media platforms. That is just one arm of the digital marketing strategy. So, I have gone over social media in my past posts, and I did want to say, I was thinking about this, and this is going to strengthen my digital marketing web. So previously, and everybody can go back and look, I had before this was a full-length podcast, a full visual podcast that is on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music and Samsung Podcasts and RSS.com. Shout out to all that. Before that was that, I actually had the Into the Black micro podcast, which was basically me doing the same thing that I'm doing here, just in a smaller capacity, no guest spot. But it was just me, and they were short. I mean, like on YouTube, they were a minute long. I had a minute long YouTube, like short form micro podcast of Into the Black. And if you actually go over to the YouTube, if you're watching here on YouTube, thank you so much for the follow and the subscribe. Comment below, let me know how I'm doing. But you can actually go to my shorts over at YouTube Shorts, and you can scroll down a little bit and you'll see that I've done 89 short episodes of Into the Black on a specific topic. Now, some of them are chopped up, right? So I'll do like social media part 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I talked about like SEO a lot, SMO. I don't think I did digital marketing. I did WordPress. So like very small micro episodes, but nobody could hear them. Only the people on YouTube or TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, wherever there is short form video available, a little bit over on Pinterest, you can watch my micro podcast of Into the Black, but nobody can hear it. It's not really attached to my podcast here as a whole. So how am I going to strengthen my digital web? Well, I'm going to take those videos. I'm going to download all of them from my YouTube and from my TikTok, right? And then I'm going to turn them into MP3s. Then I'm going to smush together the, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Some of them will only be like 5 minutes long, but I really want my, podcast audience here to really to be able to access those. And so I'm going to be doing a drip campaign of the Into the Black micro podcast because I really want to strengthen my digital assets, my digital web, by getting those short form videos of the micro podcast Into the Black onto the Spotify channel. And I had this epiphany the other day. I don't know what it was. And I was in my car driving because I love driving my car. And so I'm driving and I'm at a red light. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about. But then all of a sudden I was like, oh my freaking God. I literally said it out loud. I was like, duh, Heather. You can strengthen your digital web by taking this already produced micro podcast and add it to this podcast as micro episodes. So it's short, consumable, quick information about things that I talk about: social media, digital marketing, business, entrepreneurship, women in business, family, life. I mean, I talk about so many different things on my micro podcast. So I'm going to actually be uploading that to my Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. I just got to chop it up all together and whatnot. So, again, just strengthening your digital web, your digital marketing assets. Create this digital marketing web that you need to optimize. So I had that epiphany in my car. That is going to optimize and make my digital web stronger. So what are you doing to make your digital web stronger? Right? Think about how you can create that strong brand through that strong digital asset management, essentially. Because all digital marketing is just asset management, digital marketing assets and the management of them, right? And making sure that they all speak with one another. Because we are in omnipresence, multi-channel omnipresence. We're in the internet of 4.0. We are in that searchable, that social proof age of the internet. Before we were catering to specific people, but now we have to be more broad because everybody is online now and they're all looking for different avenues to learn, to share, to network, to connect. And so we need to make sure that all those avenues are open and clear and optimized for people to come into our space, come into our community, high community, and, just being able to be here, to navigate between the different assets that you have with ease, without any roadblocks or any bottlenecks or any issues. So, that strong presence. First, the name, the branded hashtag, the domain, the business name. They all should be the same. Because if somebody's looking for you, You want all of those assets to be found. So usernames. Oh my God, even usernames. I mean, put that in there for, right? The hashtag's important, domain, the business, and the usernames. If you're just about to start a business, grab your usernames now. Please, for the love of God. I am working, so I just, there's this proposal I sent out, and they have not created their digital assets yet for this new product. But I'm like, please go get those usernames. I think I meant to say this to him, and I'm actually going to email him right when I get off this this podcast. Go grab those usernames now, because if you have that website up and you don't have your usernames, people can grab those. There are vultures out there. That is actually like a stream of revenue for people, where it's like they notice that you've dropped a product or something went viral over on TikTok, then they'll grab that domain name so that when your product goes viral over there, they're like, oh, wow, okay. Oh, no, I forgot to grab the domain. Oh, no, we got to make our website right now because, like, we're just selling on TikTok Shop, but, like, it's going viral, so, and people are looking, so we have to go make a website. And then when they go make the website, their URL is already taken. And then, you know, people get like a notification that like, you know, people are looking for that. You can even try to buy it. People put it on, you know, for auction for like $20K. That actually happened with, make sure your domains don't lapse, because there was a major brand. I think it was like Motorola or Mitsubishi or like one of those starting with an M, where they literally had to like create a whole new domain because their domain lapsed, and a vulture just came over and scooped it up and put it on auction for like $50K, and like the big ass company would not pay that, so they were like, fine, we're just gonna get like a .net or something stupid like that. So yeah, make sure that your assets are strong, make sure you have your usernames, make sure everything is the same, make sure branding is on point across all digital assets, from your blog to your newsletter to your SMS. Make sure it's all consistent. Making sure that the tone and the voice is all consistent across all brands, right? So if you go to my website, you're not going to see hot pink unicorns being like, I love you guys so much. Like, yay, happy hearts, pink hearts. Like, no, like you're not going to see that. You're not going to be like, oh, yay, like, yes, girl boss. Yes, you are killing it. Like, yes, we need to girl boss harder. Like, no, that is not me. That is not my tone of voice. That is not my brand. You are going to see black and white. You're going to see chic, streamlined. And you're going to see that across all avenues of my social media and all avenues of my digital marketing assets, to be honest with you, from my newsletter, which don't come from me. I do have an email newsletter list. I just don't push anything out because, again, I mean, it's a one-woman show over here in regards to, like, my business. I mean, I have shout out to my helpers who help with the clients, but, you know, I tend to, like, keep my stuff to myself. But, you know, from my newsletter to my blog to my website to my social media to how I speak and my tone of voice, how I'm just, like, kind of, like, straightforward, no sugarcoating it. That's my vibe. And you're not going to see anything else but that. You know, aw, okay. But like, if you go back a little bit. So, I was on boots on the ground I was a brand ambassador for a long time ago. And I worked for Clinique Fresh Faces Tour, and it was down in Washington, D.C. And I was boots on the ground, essentially. I had to, you know, go and put flyers across the campus, essentially, of this university down in Washington. And you know, I was down there with my friend Fallon. Shout out Fallon. And Fallon and I were down there, and you know, I'm like boots on the ground digital marketing, and this was boots on, like, literally, like, there were QR codes on the sign, and it was like, you know, there was also like a hashtag and all of that stuff. And so I had to like put these posters all over the place. But you guys, I be rocking hot pink. Stop. I used to rock hot pink and black. Like, that was my thing, like pink and black. I don't know why the pink just faded into the black. I don't know why that happened. But yeah, but you won't see it. But this phone case that I'm recording on has a hot pink phone case, I will say. So, but you know, I used to wear pink and black, and that was my vibe. my branding for BGWD before I branded to Heather Cox Codes was this maroon, yellow, black, which was the color of my social media superhero that I had. Rest in peace, my girl, because that I loved it. I was like, I seriously looked like a Marvel character. I looked like an X-Men. I might have to find it and pop it up. Like, ping. I hate editing all of the podcasts though. Let me be frank. Like, I do the ping in like multiple episodes and I'm like, nothing's there. Because the editing is just me. So the editing is just like, oh, I gotta like scroll through this like hour thing just to find where the heck I'm talking about. But like I was supposed to put up Alicia Cooper's purse here. Didn't happen because, again, the editing is just so minimal on this podcast. And to be honest with you, I feel like that's where the internet is going. I am so tired of the overproduced, flashy, in-your-face captions with the emojis. It's too much. And that's another point. The evolution of digital marketing, right? The evolution of the way that we use digital marketing and how it catches people's attention. So before it was like highly produced, in your face, go, 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 go. But like our attention spans now are so short that we have come full circle in the world of digital marketing. So instead of like, we can't even keep, oh my God, like that's why the most few, like first couple seconds of a short form video are so important. That's why the hook is so important, is because you have to grab them within the first 2 seconds, because our attention spans are so short now that people now, what they're doing is you're taking like, instead of like watching a 15-second video about something, people will, and I do this, if it is like a 10-minute video here on TikTok or a 30-minute video on YouTube, I will put it on and I'll set my phone down and I'll turn up the volume or put it in my my ears, so I don't have to watch it. I just listen to it. People's attention spans are so short now that we're listening to longer form content in our earbuds, but doing other things and scrolling and reading. And yeah, maybe even watching videos on silent, but reading the captions on that, but also listening to our long form. Our attention spans are so short, we have come full circle to where we were creating and consuming long form digital content, but then it started getting shorter and shorter because of TikTok, and shorter and shorter. And then now it got so short where it's like 5-second videos on loop would get the most engagement and reach because it was so short. But now it's like we've gotten it to a point, like you can't just do 1-second videos now. I mean, you could. And that's where the compilation videos come in, right? Because they're all just 1-2 seconds, all chopped up. So it's just like, oh yeah, I saw that. Oh, like that. Those do well. But like now, it's like like you go, like people are creating these like long videos, like synopsis, like on specific topics, and doing like in depth, like analysis on specific things, even like long form reviews on things now. There's this one TikToker who just like destroys brands. Like, yo, he came for Crumble Cookie. Crumble Cookie is disgusting. I hate fucking Crumble Cookie. Don't come for me. But that shit is just nasty. And I mean, they use cake mix boxes. Like, guys, they go to the Acme and they'll buy Betty Crocker cake mix and like make their cookies out of that. I believe I saw that. And if I'm wrong, I apologize, Crumble Cookie, but goddamn, if I did not see that and read about that. And that's when I stopped. I was like, really? I was like, I could just make my own cookies with this cake batter. Like, why am I? And plus it's overly sweet. And anyway, the dude just like crushed Crumble Cookie, and I'm here for it. But like those are the long videos I'm talking about. He's sitting there for like 10, 15, 20 minutes. I mean, TikTok wants you guys to upload like, I think it's like an hour now. I think some people it is rolled out for an hour. So just the change of how digital marketing and digital assets and online, just it has changed so much. And that brings me back to the co-opting of the digital marketing. That's not digital marketing has never and never will be a multi-level marketing strategy. It won't. I'm sorry. And I know I've seen the Huns and the freaking MLM girlies and the all of them utilize the digital marketing strategy and oh yeah, like we're so versed in digital marketing and like this is one of the avenues in which you'll reach your downline and like I get it, but like that's not what digital marketing is. And I really hope people now understand what the F digital marketing is and should be, and that it should not be co-opted by the MLM girlies and turning it into the just the slimy, icky, toxic positivity course content creation thing that many have turned it into. Digital marketing is really about marketing your brand, your business, accordingly through digital marketing strategy. And I just finished digital, I believe it was, well, I didn't just finish, it was a few months ago, for University of Maryland, Robert H. Smith School. There's so many different, it's Robert A. something, for transformation in digital marketing, like digital marketing assets, like literally like transforming your digital marketing, like the way you do it. I literally just got done the Hong Kong Polytechnic University for managing hospitality and tourism, like marketing, like all these marketing things. They're digital marketing. There's the normal marketing, the slow marketing, the print, newspapers, even the billboards. Sure, we can call that marketing. The old school marketing, the radio. But then there's digital marketing, which also can encompass radio as well. Spotify, right? Pandora, all the ads in between for those who don't pay for the free or who don't want to pay for Pandora, like the ads that you see on the screen and listen to in between the commercials, that's digital marketing. Hulu, all the new school commercials. Let me tell you, have been loving the way that the commercials have morphed through the digital marketing landscape. Because like before, it would just be like old school ads. Like you would see like just the same ads all the time on your old school cable, like your Verizon, your Comcast, your local Channel 6, like sure. But these cool ass commercials that are going on Hulu and these streaming platforms. If you guys haven't looked into it, totally look into it. That and like the Spotify and the Pandora, but like it's such a great avenue, that another avenue for digital marketing, because before that was not even around. The evolution of digital marketing, and I love it so much. Like even like the NFTs and the crypto, that is a whole, that when that happened, that was a whole new different avenue for digital marketing. So I actually came up with, and I kind of want to release it, and I haven't because it requires me to buy crypto, and then I just don't want to be honest with you, like we have a whole like crypto thing at my house, but there's like a whole like thing where it's like I created these moving artworks of different words that are spoken to women, and they are turned into like digital art. And I thought that was super cool. I might release it. I still have them. I'll go find them and I'll put them out. Be like, okay, hey, it was like, hey, it's my art book. Oh my God, I would love to create a digital art book. See, like that is so much fun. Like that, I just expanded and added to my digital web right now, right here. Yes, like right on this podcast, because I'm like, okay, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, like I have these assets. Think about the assets you have. Think about what can be turned into an asset, right? This podcast. Okay. So what I was thinking about doing is taking this podcast and then taking the transcript from my podcast and then putting it into my transcript GPT that I created, and have it take the transcript and create this ebook or takeaways for this podcast, so that you can get that digestible information, and so you don't have to sit here for 45 minutes to listen to me ramble on about digital marketing. I just created a new asset. which created a new leg or new arm, a new flower, a new sprout, whatever you want to freaking call it, a new line, a new part of the web of my digital marketing. I just created a new asset, which means that I create a new landing page or a new page for it or add it to my digital products that I have. If anybody wants to go check out my digital products, you go to heathercoxcodes.com, digital products. I have my ebook. I have how-tos. I have checklists, even how to start your digital products page on your WordPress and how to list it on your WordPress and not having to like pay, for like having it listed somewhere else on like Teachable or over at Etsy. Digital marketing, digital assets over on Etsy. You guys can get like Canva packs on Etsy.com. Like, hi, you can get font packs over on Etsy.com. Think about that. So again, we were here talking about digital marketing. I know I was like crazy all over the place, especially at the beginning. But I'm just coming back off of 2 weeks off doing social media down at Realcom, and check out Realcom. I am the social media director for them, and it's just going to be here. I mean, sky's the limit. This was the first time for Realcom in the first 25 years. They've been around for 25 years. Last year, they just celebrated 25 years. And this year, their 26th year was the first time that they ever had social media boots me on the ground. And let me tell you, we got so many different, great, amazing, different comments from different people, reviews saying, feedback saying social media was on point, digital marketing on point. So just think about how you can elevate your business, your entity through the use of proper digital marketing. And if anybody has any questions about that, please get at me, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email at heathercoxcodes@gmail.com. I would love to help anybody, especially in the real estate and tech and hospitality and corporate food spaces. I'll say that again, corporate food spaces. That's what I'm trying to get into. Let's chat, because digital marketing has been my whole entire life since working at my mom's store, like literally my mom's store. That's when social media popped off and it was to the races. I was like, let's create that Facebook profile. Let's make sure literally, like even before there were pages, I was making my mom a profile. And and creating the website and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for being here. Next week, I believe, I don't even know who I'm going to have on. I know it's going to be a special guest though. So definitely check out next week's episode and make sure you guys connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn at Heather Cox Codes. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time.